actually been inside before here. I didn't catch your name. Did I catch your name?
Gavin.
Gavin, how are you? I'm Paul. Right. And it's Martin, isn't it? And the beautiful Nigel.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yes. Now this has been ongoing since Easter of last year. We first got wind of the fact that the Irish Assemblies of God wanted to sell Carraig Eden, which was a big blow to a lot of Greystones people because they see it as a part of the town, and certainly what it does as a place is a big part of the town for a long time. Thankfully, even though it's been through many twists and turns and it just missed a deadline for the 1.7 million, there is still hope. There is still people battling. Stephen Donnelly, Stephen Harris are battling. I suppose the first thing we should talk about here today is the fact that there's a petition which is anybody can sign online. Do you guys yourself, I don't know whether you'd have I don't know whether you dare be optimistic, because there's certainly a lot of goodwill and people would like you to stay and would like Carraig Eden to maintain. I don't know how you guys would sort of view it right now, whether you feel that there is good hope or that it's a hard battle that you're...
Well, it's a struggle. We've been there's a few of us been out today with petitions in the community, and the overall reaction was that it's disgraceful that this is happening, and they wouldn't like to see the building going to be sold out from underneath us and possibly 30 men made homeless, like.
Right.
You know.
And is there a sense now with the petition itself? This is Uplift, I think, are part of the organisation. Also, we've had people from the housing that we're working with Apollo House. I know that there's other people have sort of stepped in now to try and help on this. I don't know whether you would have a feeling that hitting the 3,000 is the sweet spot for the petition. Would that go directly now to the Irish Assemblies? Would there be a plan when you reach that number? Or what would be the sort of going forward? What would you hope to do with it?
Yeah, I think where the residents seem to be taking a lot of advice from the Irish Housing Network, which have been really helpful on this, and so the petition is just one way of their voice being heard, and the voice of the wider community basically to support what's going on. And I think the idea is that the petition will be brought to the Irish Assemblies of God Board of Directors. And also it's something that might be able to be used at a political level to kind of display that this is kind of the national or the local outcry on this issue.
Well, no, it's David Norton who's part of the kind of North, the Dublin branch of that particular, and as I said, they worked with Apollo House. It would seem to me, I don't know if this is true, that there's two kinds of plans of action here. The petition is obviously the first and foremost. Is there, I don't know, like Apollo House, would there be the option to kind of try and batten down the hatches and stay? I don't know if that's a possibility, or that's in any way kind of just being able to just not go, just stay in the building.
Well, I suppose thankfully we're not at that stage.
Right.
Really, what we're hoping to do is to have some really positive discussions and negotiations that will take place. Ultimately speaking, I think it's about making sure that each resident is protected and their rights are respected. What everybody really wants is a positive, favourable outcome in the best interests of every resident here, and indeed the people who own the building themselves.
That idea that it is a deadline. It is up for sale again since in May it was put back on the market. I mean, I don't know if there is such a thing as Plan B, or whether the strongest feeling is let's just keep on. Trying to keep this building as it is. I don't know if there is a sense of having to make other plans as well as the same time as fighting the good fight.
Well, I think there's lots of different plans going on to try and see what directions can be taken. Ultimately speaking, I think the essence of what this property has done is provide a safe place, a home, a sense of community for people, and a launch pad for them to move on to independent living, and it's been extremely successful. Trying to replicate that in the community here is very difficult, because to try and find a building or a location that's suitable for that has been harder than what you might think.
It is kind of, I think, shocking to most people that the government, having stepped forward with the 1.7 million, been able to actually meet what was the original kind of asking price from the Irish Assemblies of God, and it's a nice big chunk of change. That it just seems quite shocking that wouldn't be the end of it, that they would say, well, that's the money we asked for. I know that we could possibly get more, but what's really at stake here are 30 people who rely on this building as a place to live. I don't know if when you guys heard that they weren't willing to take the 1.7 million? I don't know how you reacted. I'm sure that was quite a shock.
Right, for myself, shocked is a bit of an understatement. I'm trying to get recovery for a number of years now, and struggling to do so. And this has been the greatest attempt that I've made. And Carraig Eden holds, like Phil was saying, a building block for the future for me. I've got education. I want to go further in my education, and this is where I was planning to do everything from. I came into recovery this time with one battle, and now I'm facing another one, the possibility of homelessness. I've never been homeless before. I didn't know where to go, what to do, and thanks to the people that are supporting us here, and I have some hope, you know. But the future is very uncertain now. I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing, you know, for housing. There's landlords out there, like I've been accepted onto the county council, Wicklow County Council, but I have to go and find, if I have to leave this place, I have to go and find property that will, one, support my recovery, two, be close to amenities, you know, travel where to get to college or whatever, and there doesn't seem to be landlords out there willing to take HAP or you know. Sure.
And it is their world right now. Landlords can almost, you know, get whatever they want in regard to rent and so forth. It's a tough time to be looking for a place. I mean, for Carraig Eden itself, I mean, the fact that Donnelly and Harris are both kind of on the case, I don't know if they give any indication of you know, that Irish assemblies have been willing to come to the table with them, or whether it's they'll have to go through other means to try and get this on the table. I know that the Wicklow County Council also wrote directly to the Irish Assemblies of God. I mean, have they given you any indication of what the hope would be, or what the plan of action might be with their angles?
Well, I think, you know, it's really important to say that both Stephen Donnelly and Simon Harris and Wicklow County Council have done Trojan work to work on behalf of the residents here. You know, there's been so much effort on their behalf to make this as positive an outcome as possible. And yeah, they have had discussions to try and get things back to the table, and I think they are most definitely an ongoing. That's definitely an ongoing situation at that level. And I think really right now the focus is to make sure that each resident in here is supported at this very difficult time. Eviction notices were issued, which means that people have been told that they have to vacate by the end of July, and the auctioneers, I know, are also, Agars is the auctioneer, they're also letting people know that it's a vacant possession at July. But that's a very nervous place to be in as a resident, with a housing market that's extremely volatile for going out to try and get secure, safe accommodation like what Nigel has outlined.
Yeah.
So, you know, regardless of what discussions are taking place, my focus right now is to make sure that each person here has those supports as much as possible, and that, you know, our appeal is to, you know, take the pressure off, go back to the table and negotiate for on behalf of the people in this building.
I suppose to wrap up then, just for the people of Greystones and beyond, I guess the first thing they can do is sign the petition. I don't know if there's much else they can do to help at the moment, because everybody you talk to obviously would like this, as I said at the start, to be the Carraig Eden that they've always known it to be, and the work that it does. The petition, I guess, is the one thing that for now we can say to people, this is, if you can put your name to that petition, that will be the first step to
for sure.
helping.
And I think as well, like the locality and the neighbourhood of Greystones, every person around the area has, as you say, is very familiar with the building. But, you know, these residents have been here. Many of them have, you know, Tiglin as a service has used this building since 2009. So we've seen many people transition through, and we've never had a negative situation occur in the community. These men have been embraced by every social club and society here in Greystones. And I think what I would ask is that on behalf of the people in Greystones, would you sign this petition to support these men in this building?
Well, we'll certainly push that now tonight when we put this up, and we'll keep on it, and we'll keep people informed. Here's hoping that that'll be one angle, but hopefully also with Simon Harris and Stephen Donnelly, there may be movement there, and as I said, everybody would feel the same way. They would like this building to be what they've always seen it as. The idea that it might be turned into some sort of private development would be something of a shame, because it is a part of the community, and it's human nature to want, to help others, and the idea that this building has done such great work and that it will continue to do so, I think would be high up on people's lists of wishes that it does happen. So fingers crossed, and we'll keep track of it and let people know.
Great.
Cool.